of the Dallas-Fort Worth Amiga Club meeting. Going to be logging in here real soon, diving into some of these conversations. We're testing out a new microphone setup this time. So hopefully the microphones all sound good. We've got one microphone I'm wearing, another little puck mic I can pass around between different people. And of course the gimbal is up here too, helping me stay smooth, except for when it doesn't. So I'm going to get into the stream down on my laptop so that I can respond to some of the chats and make sure folks are properly entertained as we come along here.
Prolific. And you use ND Needler, and you can dump a raw copy to a D64 that is a
model so that anybody can print it?
Block by block.
It's getting there.
Most of the time he copies on
It's pretty unlike.
This will also help me test the audio and make sure that we're looking good.
The G64 Preservation Society's like giant
package. That's what I did here.
And then the grease wheel thing, I use a grease wheel right in the color.
Carrie Fisher.
I don't have to get stuff for any other side. I need a different drive.
So,
Okay, here we go, huh?
I moved the magnets.
Let's see how we're looking.
And I have a Hall effect sensor. So I can put the solar
We're Cal Walsh.
I got it figured out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seems like I'm here.
Yeah, they're not, they're,
I'm gonna look at your case.
so,
You're
say they're not.
Remember you were so.
They said that the Commodore 64 was never going to be able to play.
All right, let me know how it sounds. If you like the audio better, then this is good. We'll stick with this. And if you don't like the audio better, we can always go back to the old way with the typical camera speaker.
But so, this dude, and he lives in the he makes this.
Did this cut out all of a sudden? Oh, I think this laptop's loading itself. Cool. All right, let's go dive in and see what other people are geeking out about.
The USB board hat underneath it, and it powers the Pi underneath it, and then which in turn, this is an adapter to.
You want to wear that on your shirt? Or I can just hold it for you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're getting mic'd up here.
Okay, this is cool. Okay, and then this is just nothing more than a adapter to move the outputs out the back, and then via and then via USB 3, I'm running this SATA adapter with a M-SATA drive, and then I've got this little adapter that adapts SATA to USB, and it's got a power, so you can actually open it. Now, does the Amiga side see it? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But and then,
Your sysinfo.
up here somewhere.
Let's take a look.
Let's see. Tools, internet.
Yeah, what are you running here?
This is Amiga 4.
This is the one. Okay.
Yes.
That's the same one the same image I downloaded then. But mine doesn't look this good.
Let's
You
just
must
look
have
at.
done some stuff to it.
It's very crisp.
Let me see. I don't know if Sympho's even on this.
Gotta have it.
Let's see.
How else can you flex?
Yeah,
on people?
that's right.
So it's a real reset.
Prefs, no. Where's that under? Sys.
Mine's on my. I pinned mine to my desktop. So.
Utilities.
Sure.
Not there.
So do you remember what I was talking about?
Where's
with
Dave?
power
Dave
supply?
might know where it's
I
at.
think it'll be a noise,
Hanging out over there, huh?
Tools.
Yeah.
I have.
Well, I didn't mean to distract
Yeah,
you. Oops.
no, it's okay.
What's in there?
Yeah. So like.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are.
That show config, but I don't know where
Well, the
sysinfo
noise
is.
is so
We
much
should.
that-
Sam might know. Dave might know where it's at by default. But like, so yeah, like I got your stuff. Like I bought the USB top hat. I bought the sister board so you could point everything out the back. I got the Amiga. I did the 4. I don't have the CD-ROM. I don't have the Pico and the power supply and then the hard drive. I don't have any of that part yet.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, and then like I kind of dead-ended because I was like, I don't know really what to do for, my case. And
And this is Grease Weasel 4.1.
that was the other thing that stopped me too. Is because I did have a smaller case, so I hooked my Grease Weasel up to the Pi Amiga. Because my idea was I have a case with my Grease Weasel in it, and I got a 5 1/4 and a 3 1/2. And I was like, I'm going to use this case as my Pi Amiga case, hook it all up to it. Wow,
That's the case.
that's what I want.
Yeah, that's the case. Because it looks like an Amiga,
Oh yeah,
it looks like an.
it looks kind of like a derpy baby Amiga 4000.
There you go.
So then the problem was when I hooked it all up together. This is what stopped me. I primarily used my Grease Weasel for my 5 1/4 inches for my Commodore. Once I had it all hooked up, the Grease Weasel would not work with the 5 1/4 anymore, only with the 3 1/2. And I was like, well, the solution. I was like, I mean, obviously you don't really need the Grease Weasel, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, so that I can just pop discs, or better yet, just write discs, you know, to it, right? You know, so you can just get an ADF, write out an Amiga disk. And
That's
then,
right. Yeah.
So that part was cool, but then I was like, I think, like I said, it kind of stopped for me because I couldn't get it. Like even with the Amiga Pi or the Pi Amiga not running, the Grease Weasel just would no longer see the.
It wouldn't.
Would no longer see the 5 1/4 inch drive.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Although I don't own any 5 1/4 inch drives anymore, but
You don't?
I don't have any more.
Hey Sam, come find sysinfo on his Pi Amiga. See
Yeah,
if you can find
I
it.
think I can't read. I don't even know if what's his name even put it on here.
It's got to be on there, right?
I mean,
We could hook up to a hotspot and just go to AmigaNet and download it. But where do you think it would be?
see, I don't know. I
This is
thought it
Chris's
was.
image,
It
right?
would probably be under
Yeah, I
system,
thought it
and
was.
you could
I
try
thought it was
looking
under
utilities.
tools.
Yeah, tools or utilities. I can't imagine anywhere else to
And
put it.
it's not there. Where's utilities? S-Scribe, clock, show boards, SMB mounting. I can't believe the guy who made this. Who was it? Chris
Roberts?
Yeah, Chris Edwards. That's right.
Chris Roberts is the video game guy, Wing Commander.
Yes.
Yeah, I always get him.
So simple. I can't believe he wouldn't put that on
It's
here.
got to be on there somewhere. It's just a question of like,
Finding it.
they don't have like an Apple thing where he could just like search for it. I guess.
Oh gosh, yeah, the App Store.
Yeah. It wouldn't be under something stupid like work, would it?
Yeah.
Stuff? No, nothing in stuff. Videos, books. Yeah, I can't.
I don't look for anything outside of Docus. Gotta have a version of Docus on here,
Does
right?
when you turn yours on, so when my Pi Amiga image that I downloaded, the one you linked, Chris Edwards image, goes to like a Linux. and then
Yes.
you have to, so yours does the same thing?
Yeah, it goes to Linux and then it automatically goes into Amiga.
Okay, mine does not automatically go into Pi
You
Amiga.
got the Linux boot. It doesn't stop on a Linux desktop, does it?
I think it does,
Or
correct.
the kernel?
I haven't messed with it in a while. I need to. Because this is what I like. I like how this looks. I mean, I know it's not the way Amigas looked back in the day, but,
Yeah.
but it's
But-
just very.
My biggest thing for building this was this one thing right here, is because I wanted the ability to create and write back ADFs. But you can just watch. Light comes on. It even clicks. If you don't have a disk in there, it clicks. So it figures out what it is, and an icon will pop.
Grease Weasel branch and UAE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you I got it working, but then
You
it.
can, you can make your actual Amiga look like this with RTG, an RTG upgrade, and you've already got an 060.
No, but it's not going to be this fast and this smooth,
This
and it's
fast,
not going to
no.
be 1920 by 1080.
It won't be. No.
And it's going to.
But I mean, like you want these icons, these colors. That'd be the way to go.
So what's nice is, see,
Yeah.
reading the floppy disk. Well, and something I did discover, because I wanted to use an Amiga 880K drive in here. And what's funny is on my Windows machine, a Grease Weasel and an Amiga drive worked great. But when I put the 880K drive in here, it just wouldn't work. So that's a PC high density drive, and there's no problems with it.
Nice.
And
Yeah, with the grease weasel in between, I'm sure it smooths out a lot of junk.
like, obviously, this wasn't made for this, but you can whatever you want to click on, but it works.
That's awesome.
So
And you're using
So how much you
CD-ROM
selling it
too?
for?
I have
We were
no
just
idea.
messing around with that. That's why we
So
wanted
I
Yeah.
guess what I could do is I could buy another grease weasel. I don't know how much they cost. Just
Oh, because you want to be able to mount
to,
it, right?
to
Yeah.
do this, because like I said, that's kind of where I stopped. I'd have to figure out like, because you're powering your grease weasel.
Did not expect that.
That came up all of a sudden, yeah.
It's right there.
Ooh. There's got to be a separate volume button.
Yeah. No.
That's it. There we are.
Did the Amiga 500 have a PCM?
No.
Just the 600 and the 1200.
It was really a nice. He did a good job cleaning this up.
I like how small the 600 is.
Yeah.
And some.
Oh, I'm the one who what?
Now, what you probably would need to do is have the CD drive hooked up, USB to the Raspberry Pi, and then in the UAE settings,
Set it up.
You need to set it up as a SCSI drive, and then you'd have to have the SCSI CD driver basically
Yeah.
running on Workbench.
And I haven't done any of that, so. But it's in the queue. So,
Yeah, hopefully with SATA, it's not too much of a jump to get to SCSI, but of course drivers writing is always obnoxious.
With a Amiga, you just use USB anyway. And
Yeah, that's fair.
The emulator UAE can just assign it as a drive, as a SCSI device.
Nice.
but this project is really, if I could create something that could read and write ADFs, and to see if I could just do it. And it works pretty good. I mean, for what it is. Oops.
And you can drop back to the Linux desktop too if you want to use a graphical Linux desktop.
Yes.
And bridge between them, like opening up your programs.
Yeah. I had Amy Kit running on this, and Amy Kit runs really good on it. And there's a new version of it out now, but he kind of tailored it for the Pi 5, which I have one Pi 5, but I don't know if because they changed the GPIO on the Pi 5. So I don't know if any of this will work with it. So
Now, people have been doing that stuff for like 12 years, and you think that that's got to be a huge headache for people's projects.
right now. So I was like, I'll just leave this the 8 gig Pi 4 that I got. It serves its purpose for what it does. But it's it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Now, is this over? I have no idea.
All I heard was the music. I don't know if it did anything on screen.
So,
Well, that's a very clean build. That's a pretty cool case you found and everything else too.
and what's nice is when you hit the button, the ATX Power Hat, there's a script that runs. So if I select shut down on the Amiga side,
Yeah.
it powers the whole thing off.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
Like a regular computer. So it's
Like
got,
it knows ACPI.
right, yeah, and it's got all the headers for the power switch and the light, and it even has 5 volt and 12 volt headers, so I can run the fan and I can
Nice.
power the USB board. So because it draws a lot of power, and the Pi can't supply that much, so there's a power input, so it can give it 5 volts. And
Let's see, Leffy is asking us on the live chat, are you doing the 100 nugget challenge?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think, you have to let us know what that is, Leffy. What is a 100 nugget challenge? You're supposed to be eating 100 McDonald's nuggets or Wendy's nuggets or nuggets from Buffalo Wild Wings or,
Well,
but yeah.
if they're good nuggets, maybe.
Right. It's important that they're good.
They got to be good nuggets.
you have the
brought a whole bunch of Amiga magazines, Amazing Amiga, Amazing Computer, and Amiga World. Figured, see if anyone wants to take any of them.
Sweet.
Just go $1 to a piece or something like that.
There we go.
We'll just flip through them. I don't care.
Yeah, let's take a look at that real fast, I guess, if you want to show any off on the stream. Oh, that's okay. Let's see. Probably. Let's get that back on. There we are. All right.
What is this?
This is my micro. I've got new microphone setups.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Yep, so you can just hold that close to your mouth if you want to. I gotta refresh this thing. It's not.
Nice.
I hate carpet and I hate dust and I hate everything.
Sustaining the video stream. All right, I will be right over there. I gotta reload the chat. Or maybe I can address it from my phone, but can I reply back from Streamlabs? No. Let's see. Bear Bob 187. I don't think we've got much repairing today. Today's more of a show and tell kind of thing. We can kind of meander our way around and have a look at it. Unfortunately, my chat thing is not loading up on the laptop that I normally use. Is it finally going? Okay.
You will go from blue, that everything is perfect, yellow, and then you detect red, you know, there's something that goes on live.
So what I need to
And
do
the speed goes up.
get one, turn it on max speed, close my door, get my lawn blower, and just get all the dust going and let the
Oh, that
pull
would
it
be
on.
so
Okay,
annoying.
let's see.
No.
Just pull it all in. Get it in the air, pull it in.
Another thing is, the wireless for those units are pretty expensive. They're about 70 to 80 bucks. I would say.
Okay,
when you get
show and tell.
a little bit dry,
Cool, let's take a look at some magazines then.
I had one, but it broke.
okay, roll it up.
Oh, it's pretty nice to look through these magazines again.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a little kid, I mostly just saw them on the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
Because Amiga, I didn't have an Amiga. I never
But it
knew.
looked cool, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, we've got a bunch of magazines here. But it's kind of neat to see, like, here's the issue of Amiga World magazine introducing the Amiga 500.
For sure, yeah. It's
Right.
rare, huh?
With your juggler right there on the front.
Maybe June of '87.
Yeah,
There it is, huh?
pretty cool.
James, get it. He's the best.
But man, look at that, 20 meg SCSI hard drive. Just yours for
$1,000 for your hard drive.
$999.95.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's
Or you can
amazing.
buy your components separately and shell out even more money.
Yeah, just the hard drive and just the SCSI controller. A million bytes of RAM.
1 million bytes. Wow.
Yours for $549.95.
Mm.
Man, I remember getting these in the mail.
That's crazy. Yep. And of course, all the ads for people that created their software and they're trying to get you to buy it direct.
The fonts.
Yep. Buy your
Just
fonts,
exactly
and
what I need, right?
compilers and things like that.
Oh, yes.
Well, I mean, it's ray tracing.
It is. Certainly ray tracing.
Ray tracing is not new.
Nope. I'm just guessing it took data render that or something.
Oh, absolutely.
So the cool of this one is that
Yeah. And
if I want to put a switch, I can switch between power.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So we got a whole bunch of Amiga Worlds and various other magazines that are up here. Amazing Amiga 2. If anybody's interested in flipping through these and selling them, cool.
I know.
I still have the one you gave me.
Speed trials. Oh man. Used to have a guy come into my stream every month and be like, "Did you get your CDTV yet?" And I'm like, "No." Yep.
I will put in the PLA and you still have the
Public domain software. Chicago 90 CES.
I put like a little dot, a little like price range, thermal paste, and then I put the shield on.
So this is all about the CDTV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there are a few.
It's an Amiga too. It's not for the computer market.
Right.
It's not considered a computer, nor is it a compact disc player.
Yeah, more of a gaming console.
You know, you really try to market that, but
Yeah.
of course, still, I wish I had one.
Mhm.
They don't get too hot, I just put it on. Now this is the CPU I wanted to keep it cold. It doesn't get too hot.
Of course, when I was a kid, it was always the ones with games that I wanted to look at.
Oh yeah, of course.
Everything else is boring and just go through it.
Yeah, really. I don't care about this hardware stuff. I need the games, right? Cool. Well, there's a look at some of the magazines that are available.
And I'll order these heat sinks, and I'll do that.
Sweet deal.
And if you want a lot of them, get it from Alibaba or
Alibaba, but which is fine because I got plenty of stuff to do. Alibaba takes like 2 weeks, but it's going to be like 50 cents as opposed
50
to.
cents, you can order
Yeah.
like 50 of them.
We're talking about the benefits of ordering from China.
Oh yeah,
versus here, so-
it's so so cheap to
I
order
like
from
how
China.
nice, just everything you did. Such a, always you do a good job. Always do a good job.
Yeah, this has been retro bright and everything, so that's a very. So, just to.
You ready to enter this for the best resto at
Okay, so-
PCF 2025?
So this is pretty easy. This is a Commodore 64. We have a Kumari big replacement. The arm seat for the seat, need PLA. This is I built this. These are custom ROMs to match pretty good.
Very nice.
RF replacement with a S video. You have a stereo output. If you put an stereo, it's designed to get output for a stereo. A full you want to use. And the other cool stuff about using the Kumari replacement VIC is that I can put a switch and I can switch between PAL and NTSC.
Nice.
So this is the board.
And you don't
That's
have to change anything with the power supply or anything. Switch.
Nothing.
Beautiful.
You just turn it off, press the button, power up, and it will go into PAL mode.
That's a very neat enhancement.
Yes. Of course, the board is being clean, recap, and everything. And here you have the Ultimate 2L plus
Yeah.
2L.
That's
So-
the part of this that really should draw everybody's attention.
Yeah. So this is a RAMU hard drive, seed emulator, everything into one cartridge. And I can show a couple of things you want to
Yeah, let's
grab the
take
screen.
a look.
So let's go ahead and reset the computer. So I'm gonna reset. So one of the things that I let you is that you have you can have two drives. It can be 1541 or 1581. You can assign
Interesting.
any ROMs that you want to each of those ROMs. For example, Jiffy DOS or any modified ROM kernel. The same for the Commodore 64. So right now what you see is the Ultimate 64 kernel. That is being modified by
The guys that made this.
the Ultimate 2. So
Yeah.
I can go have 3 buttons, one freeze, one to go to the menu, and one to reset the machine. So I just hit the middle
Yeah.
and go to the menu. A couple of things about the hardware. Let me show a couple of things. So you have a network port
Okay.
right here. You can plug it in, and this will act like a modem. So you can connect to BBS and everything like that. 2 USB. I'm using a USB drive to all the software, cartridges, and everything. Because this can emulate a dual seat. I have an output directly from here, and this is your connection to the 1541.
Cool.
That's right. The cool thing about this, you can daisy change this with actual 1541 drive or 1571, 1581.
So yeah, it allows you to have multiple devices and
That's
then write
right.
these images out back.
So-
Write your D64s back out to the disk.
Yes, sir. So this is the actual menu. This because this is the L version. They come now with a Wi-Fi module. I don't have it. I didn't got it in time for this, but for the
Coming
next one,
soon, maybe next time, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little more about the video, because it looks like you got the regular composite cables coming out of here, and a little VGA to HDMI adapter in the back, I think.
So it's a S video output. Just using this is a crappy converter, but I'm just using an SV to VGA.
Okay.
The one that I
S-video to VGA, I
recommend
see.
is a SV to HDMI would be better.
Sure.
But I didn't got it on time.
Ah.
Really, I lost the one that I don't know where I put it. So I ordered
Yeah,
a
that's
new
the
one.
worst.
So and I'm just getting the output from the emulation of the Ultimate 2 of the seat directly into the speakers.
Nice.
So there you go. So right here, let's go to the configuration.
So how much did it run? How much did it cost you to mod the 64 like this? Got a question from one of our viewers.
So the big replacement, I think that is about when I bought it, because it was brand new, it was around $89.
So how long ago was that?
A couple of months. I
Okay.
would say
Just a couple
almost a
months ago.
year.
Okay.
So
About a year ago, 89
they
bucks.
have two versions. They have the smaller that you see here. They have a bigger one that you can get full RGB output.
Cool.
So you can plug it into an RGB to HDMI. Or you can get, I think, the DVI output too.
Nice.
So the only problem is bigger. That's right. I have it at home. I just using the little one here. The arm seat is about $35 euro. For me, it's the best replacement. It's not cheap. I know
Sure.
that there is the Pico and a couple of other options out there. This one, you can build it. All the information is online. It's open source. This is the Neat PLA. If you know how to sort there and program FPGAs, go ahead.
Yeah, simple.
Simple. The problem is going to be finding the FPGA chips. It's still in a shortage. If you're willing to order from China and wait, it's perfect.
And willing to deal with whatever manufacturer.
Yes.
You're actually getting the things from that can be a risk with the FPGAs buying from China.
Yes.
There you
But
go,
so
they're
far,
real.
I'm being lucky.
Good.
This one I designed it. I used KitKat. I designed my those and program it. So
Yeah, the 3 replacement ROMs.
yeah, the 3 replacement ROM. And maybe rebuild this so you can erase them
Yes.
and program however you want. But I just need time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that seems like something you could definitely put on Tindy or some of the hardware stores, and people would go crazy for that.
I used to sell them, but again, it's time. You
Of
need
course.
to build them and stuff like that. So this one, this is you can see there's information there. Is created by a team from Retro Central. It's a
Let's
RF.
spin this around, I guess.
Yeah.
We can read that a little bit better, and hopefully that comes in focus. Commodore 64 longboard, RF replacement with hard reset. GitHub.com/the retro channel. There's this floating around. This thing is like difficult for me to just get focus,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but I'm trying to keep it kind of still.
So he publicized all this, and it's really easy to build. Just order the PCB, get the parts, and if you know how to solder, it's easy. But I think that is a pretty nice replacement, and it have a couple of features. If you want the reset, if you're planning to do a dual seat, that you can get it in this machine. All the outputs is right here.
And then, of course, the Ultimate 2 Plus, which
Is what
7
we
or
have
so
to do.
years ago was like $160 that I paid on Craigslist, and even then, I think the guy wanted some money off. So it would have been more than
it's
that
not.
originally.
It's not a cheap,
No,
but I would say that is the best cartridge out there.
absolutely.
So this is the menu. Couple of the features. You have full assembly 64. This is the new.
So let's see, all in all, it's like 89 plus 39 plus your own designs here plus whatever this ran.
Yeah, 89, 35 euros. These I don't
35
know. You have to get the parts. I cannot remember.
Yeah. So we might put it around at least $200 or something.
I would say yes. If you add the recapping and everything.
Yeah, and the Ultimate 2 Plus is, of course, another 200-ish if you can
Yes,
find it.
that's the one. And if you order it, it's gonna take some time.
Yep.
That's right. Another option for people that are looking is will be the Ultimate 64 Plus. It's a full replacement motherboard with the feature of the Ultimate 2 Plus and everything in the motherboard. You don't need to get chips on everything. It's emulating a 64.
Sure.
It's a cool, nice replacement if you're looking for something different.
Yeah.
I like the original ICs, and I try to keep it as original as I can. So a couple of the features. So let's go to the Commodore 64 machine. That's right. This is the reset. Let me get out of here. There you go. So you have clock. You know that the 6026 have internal clock, but it doesn't keep alive because it didn't have batteries.
Yeah.
This one it have an internal battery, so it will keep the clock if you're using EOS or EOS or any of the functionality. You have network, of course. You have a network card.
Yep.
So one of the things about the network card, I already told you that it emulates a modem, so you can connect to using IP to a modern BBS or run your own BBS.
For sure.
You can access the Ultimate using SSH.
Okay,
And
interesting.
control everything through SSH.
Really?
So you can reset. Let's say, for example, you're playing something, you want to change the game, and you're in your home computer. You can control and push the game, or upload new games, or new ROMs, or everything through SSH.
That's
So
wild.
this is pretty cool. Let's go back in that. That's the modem settings, of course. You can see that I try to emulate all, and you have full control of all those settings. That's the Wi-Fi setting. I don't have the module, but it let you attach to a modern Wi-Fi with WAPA2 and all that kind of stuff if I had the module in.
For sure.
But I don't have it. Soft ISC, for the people that like it, I don't use it because I emulate the 1541 or 1581.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you don't need that, I guess, at this point.
Emulate printer settings, but let's go here because most of the people want to see this.
Okay.
This is for the Commodore
Here we
64.
go. You want to clip on the mic onto your collar?
Oh yeah.
And that should be good. Cool.
So let's say, for example, I want the Commodore 64 every time that I start up with a cartridge. I can go here and I can maybe select, I don't have anything in the list, but you can make it so every time boot up from a cartridge. Fast reset, alternate kernel. So you see that let's say, for example, I want to change that and I want to use the Jiffy DOS for 664.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna change it. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Let's see if I'm gonna try to reset. Did it took it? Yes. Okay, perfect. Save the change.
Yep.
I go here and I'm gonna do a machine reboot.
What's the difference between reset and reboot in that scenario?
I prefer the reboot because it make a force an actual reboot of the complete
It's
system.
like a cold thing. You
It's a cold
power off and
thing.
power it
A
on.
reset, it will not clear the memory.
Sure.
So here we go. I'm in Jiffy though.
Yeah, now it's Jiffy DOS, whereas last time was Ultimate 2 Plus kernel.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So there you go.
Easy to switch. You don't even have to
let's
worry
do
about flipping
something.
it around.
Let's do something more interesting. Let's go. I still hitting the wrong command here. Let's go into the settings. Let's say that I want the Jiffy DOS for X64.
Right.
You know the colors of the X64, that's right? So I'm gonna go ahead and reboot the machine.
So
Look at that.
here we go. Yeah, we're on that really
I have the
tiny
kernel.
CRT monitor where you need the
Yeah.
high contrast.
Now I have the kernel, the Jiffy DOS for S64.
That's funny.
Okay?
Now, how, I mean, SX64 had some slightly different hardware modifications, I guess. And so, do you find that that leads to incompatibility with this stuff, or?
The S64, the major difference is that the tape drive area is gone.
The
That's
tape
right.
drive is what?
The tape drive. When you hit the Commodore key and run stop,
Yep.
in the regular Commodore 64, it will go to the tape.
I see.
In the X64, it will go directly into the drive.
Yep.
So those are the major difference. So you can use the X64 perfectly.
Nice.
So far. So let's do a couple of things interesting here. Let me see if I hit the right. Okay. So a couple of other stuff. Sorry. So you see the kernel. So these have an internal REU. So if you have it here, I have it enabled, so I can expand the memory, and I can select all these options because those memories are available in the Ultimate 2.
No kidding. Cool.
So, for example, you can Sonic, the new Sonic game
Yes.
came for the Commodore 64.
I think I heard you playing
So-
music.
So what it does is if you have an RMU, it will detect it and load the complete game into the RMU.
Oh, nice.
So it can perform like in a Super Nintendo.
Nice.
So a lot of people say that that game was never able to play in the Commodore 64. There you go. We
Right.
can show it later. So it will do an RMU.
We'll have to do a demo of that later on.
Yeah. So you can do preload in RMU. There's a couple of things that you can, when you power on,
Yep.
it will look into the USB, preload it into memory to be ready for you. I think that GEOS have a couple of those functionality for the application side. So you can preload a couple of those applications so they run immediately from RAM.
It seems like you can script some of the
on.
stuff.
Most of the stuff is already supported for a couple of the applications. So
Okay.
that's the beauty of it. This is the map for the secondary seat. If I want to enable it, I enable it, and I have a secondary seat, emulated seat, a secondary seat chip right there. There's a couple of things how to control the the 3 buttons in the back.
Yes.
Freeze, menu reset. You can change
So
it.
there's for the 3 buttons back
The 3
here.
button right there. Okay. You can modify the address
Oh my gosh.
on all these. Force a 2 megahertz support.
Yep.
Kernel shadowing, and
Wow.
you can play most of this functionality is to get it supported for. You can run this cartridge in the 128,
For sure.
and the 128 support higher megahertz in the CPU. So all that functionality is there. Let's go to the drives.
The
Because I
drives.
think that everybody wants to see that. Support 2 different drives. So here's second drive is disabled. And if I want to enable it, that's going to be drive 8. I can choose the drive type.
Right.
1581, 1571, 1541.
Yeah, that's pretty
So I can select the drive bus. That's right. Up to 11.
9, 10, or 11.
What ROM I want to use in any of those modes. So I can choose any of the Jiffy Dove or any alternative ROM for those drives.
Interesting.
So that's pretty
So
cool
now,
too.
when you say the drive ROM, you
The
don't mean
kernel.
like the disk image, right?
No, I'm talking about the kernel.
Okay.
So do you know if you want Jiffy Dove, you know you need to modify, take the kernel of the ROM and put a Jiffy Dove kernel for that drive.
Yep.
If you have Jiffy Doves in your drive and Jiffy Doves in the Commodore 64, you have better commands, better speed, and there's a little bit incompatibility with a couple of protection system, but it will make loading times faster.
Gotcha. So really, you need to have a compatible ROM in your drive and in the system itself.
Commodore 64.
I'm gonna have to check for that because I've got Jiffy DOS on my 64. Actually, it's a switch. It's
So
really
you
a
can
toggle
switch
switch.
it between that. Here, you can do it all in the Ultimate. I don't have to go outside or switch anything or add any additional
For
settings.
sure. And then you can even SSH and tell it to switch
Tell
right
it to
away.
switch it. You can add the extra RAM in those days for us that like to use copy protection or stuff. There was a RAM module that you can add to the 1541 and 1571 to expand the memory and do copy protection easier.
Yep.
So this will emulate that. The reset, if you want to reset the drive, if you remember when you were cracking applications, for those of us that remember those old days, the copy protection sometimes put information in the memory of the 1541. So maybe when you reset the computer to see the RAM area, you don't want the drive to be reset.
Interesting.
So you can see the memory area. So you can control all that here. So it's pretty cool. Another thing that is pretty cool is that, let's go back. No. Okay, so another thing that is pretty cool, I'm going to try to load Sonic now.
Yeah.
Sonic used their RMU and of the system. So I go to my USB card. I have all kind of software here. This full emulated 1541, 1575, or 1581, that means the original disk images with copy protection, they're going to work.
Sure.
So that's another beauty of it. So let's look for Sonic.
Here we go. Sonic.
Sonic, right there. Now, if you see, you can see the image. D64 is the standard. G64 is Nibbler image disk, and D81 are 1581s.
Interesting.
So I'm going to tell it to run that. I can tell it to mount it, and I do the command, or I can tell it to run it immediately, and you can see the different options to mount
Yeah,
it.
running is extremely helpful, so you don't have to worry about
I'm going to run it.
extra
And it
stuff.
tells me
Oh,
immediately
interesting.
that my configuration for drive A, the first drive, if I want to change it to 1581,
Yeah.
right now it's 1541.
That's funny. I thought you had it as 1581 to begin with.
No, I was testing and
Oh,
showed
I
you the
see. You changed it
configuration.
later
So
on.
whatever image I select, the cartridge will know and tell me, do you want to change it? And I'm gonna say yes.
Very
so
nice.
I don't have to go change it, go back.
Yeah, really.
So there you go. It's gonna load for me automatically, and we're just gonna wait for a little bit.
Yep. You know what's
And-
funny is I don't think your lines are super showing up on camera that much.
The what?
Oh, it's making some noise, huh?
Yeah, it will emulate the drive noise.
We should
So,
mic that up a little bit.
so a lot of people, I don't think that he's gonna get it, but we'll see. Let's see if it will run in the S64 kernel. We'll see.
Let's see, what if I set this mic right on top of it? I wonder if it'll pick it up. It's magnetic, actually.
Okay, let's try this in a different way. Oh, it was coming. So let me check the kernel.
So I only use the floppies, and I can install it, but it won't run.
I'm gonna change the kernel back to what I was using and enable. Perfect. Let's save that. Yes. And we select it. There you go.
Okay, regular. Yep, I think that we can hear
Yeah.
the disc noise that's coming across now
Yes,
that it's
and
the
the
microphone right on it.
Yeah,
There's
good.
the microphone right on it.
I can increase the volume. There are people that I like it for the nostalgic.
Of course.
You can turn it off if you want it, or increase the volume, download the volume, whatever you want.
Hey,
Okay,
there we go.
there you go. The tech will not run at the optimal frame rate, whatever. I just say I want to continue,
There we go.
and I'm gonna use fast load.
Yeah, read the manual.
No,
or
no,
what?
let's play the game.
Yeah, what the heck? This isn't an Atari system.
Yeah. So the beauty of now, there you go.
Yeah. Heard a little bit from the speakers. Sonic Team 64 presents. Now we're reading from the discs again.
Let's see if he will ask me. Come on, don't make me look bad.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, it's loading to the RMU.
Cool. Yep, loading into all that extra memory we configured.
Yeah.
Two of them I'm not using. No, one's a Dell and the other one's a.
So load the full into RMU immediately. So because I had the RMU enabled in the Ultimate File, I'm gonna say yes.
Of course.
And it's gonna load that complete game.
I imagine kids figuring all this stuff out like 30 or 40 years ago.
Years ago, oh man, yeah, it was
Been an
all dot
experience.
tapes, and yeah, now it's so nice,
Yeah.
and it's unbelievable. We keep developing new stuff for this machine. So here goes Sonic running in a Commodore 64.
There it is. I'm going to set this here, I guess.
I have no hope to you.
Now nobody criticize my gameplay. Let's see how it is. You can tell that it's been a while. Oh Lord. Oh. There you go.
There it is. Amazing.
So I want to reset. I go here. Let's try Mario Brother.
All right.
Another,
Oh my gosh.
Another one that is. So
Only
it's
on the
gonna
Commodore,
change
right?
to
Yep.
1541 now. So I don't have to have the drive set up to the specific setting. It will detect the image.
So we're going to switch it right to the Mario Brothers off the different disk drive, switching from a 1581 to a 1541, just like that. Didn't even have to go into configs or anything. Just
Nothing.
It knew that you're on the wrong type and made a change for you.
Yep. And again, I have to remind you, you can still daisy change physical drive to the cartridge.
Yeah, because you can have this cable going into a drive coming out of this. back in
That's
here.
right. Another thing is that the 1549, I don't have a plug-in, but this is a tape emulator.
Okay. Oh,
So
interesting.
you can put this in the user port and connect it to this user port, and it will emulate a tape drive. So tape drive was really popular in Europe, so you can get a lot of images.
Right.
Of course, it's still not going to increase the loading time.
No.
But you can have all the tapes, images, and be able to load them if you need.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, back in a couple months ago, I guess in January, I guess not a couple, but back in January anyway, I was playing with the tape Duino for this pretty neat little thing. Put a bunch of tape images on an SD card, and then hook it up to your whatever system via the basic audio stuff.
Yes.
Super cool.
So it's an option. I always say that if you're gonna get it with the tape unit. It's a couple of bucks more, and it's worth it, I think.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do with the tapes is you load them. You can still use any specific cartridge and freeze them and capture them.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to go through the upgrade
Sure.
stuff. Another thing, I'll show you. I never see this load, but I can show you how to emulate like a snapshot cartridge or a Match 5 cartridge or any of those that we used to have. There you go.
SMB 64. That's
And it's
amazing.
using the RMU, of course.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here it is.
Mario running in a Commodore 64.
The legit arcade port. And it's not even the crappy Super Mario Brothers special from Hudson Soft, I guess, for the
Come on.
PC-88.
You can tell I don't play this too much. There you go.
Yeah, the controls seem a little stiff or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's this piece of junk. I should have brought something better next time.
Yeah.
You can see that it's piece of
It's probably meant to be played on the table or something, huh?
junk. No, I just need to bring a really good keyboard, joystick, sorry.
Yep.
But there you go. That's
bad.
Mario. And the music is pretty good. Make
Yeah.
it by a seat. So,
Yeah, I should probably mic that up too.
so let me show you this. Oh, there you go. Look at this.
It does seem like the sampling rate is a little bit high though.
Maybe. But you have to remember, we're not running the original hardware.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
It seems like it's a step or two higher.
Okay, let's reset it.
Typical.
We're
There we
back
go.
here, and let's show this because a lot of people. Let me see if I can set it up.
Yeah, look at all the programming languages and other things, huh?
Oh yeah, I have everything. For example, these are a lot of epics. For
Yep.
those who use that, and I bet that this game it was one of the best for me. There you go.
40 years ago, the Summer Games of the Los Angeles Olympics.
1983. You can see I'm loading it directly, and you can do all these commands through SSH.
Oh my
Everything
gosh.
through SSH. So it will give you the same screen that you see when I hit the middle menu on your SSH screen.
Fancy.
So it's pretty cool.
I just was like watching it, and I just kept going, and then like.
And I think that I told you, I'd say that through SSH or using WinCP,
Yeah.
you can move files in back and forward
Interesting.
between your PC and the Commodore 64.
Yep. WinCP rather than SCP, huh?
Yeah.
Or is it
You
the
can
same deal
use
probably?
SCP. WinCP is just
It's a
a
client for it.
client for it.
That makes sense, yeah.
If you like the command lines, you can
Yeah.
use whatever you want, man.
Of course.
And then I was looking up, and I was talking to there's our Amiga group here, which is local, but there's a
I should have put a fast cartridge on it, but that's okay.
there's a lot of noise because it's just that many people going, right? But
For those of us that remember how slow everything, there you go.
Check it out.
Okay, let's go ahead and reset it one more time. We're back to the Commodore. Let's see if I can get one of those cartridges to work. So in the flash area, cartridge. So I'm gonna use a Epix fast loader. I'm gonna there you go. I have fast loading running. For those of let's say that we want a snapshot, the super snapshot that was so famous. We had the empty. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Super snapshot.
There you go. We had super snapshot, and if you hit the freeze, it's gonna work like an actual super snapshot cartridge. So you can have all those cartridges, and this will emulate it perfectly.
Wow.
So if you see the price, I will say it still is a great
Yeah, it's a great deal.
deal.
Because finding something like that for the PC is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
But it was funny, you see these expansion cards, these people that can go freeze the memory and spec stuff like, okay, well, how does this high score come up? And can I alter my score? Can I alter some element of the game like a hitbox or whatever?
So there you go. I would say anybody that have a Commodore 64 should get one of these. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're hard to get because they're in high demand. Gideon, he tried to build them as fast as he can, but as soon as they show up in the website, they go out.
They're selling out.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cool. Find out about these other boards
Stuff
back
around.
here. I think we had some cool. Amiga PCI local bus. I feel like these are repro motherboards.
How stable? 40 megahertz, I think it's stable.
Hmm.
Do you have to run like a fancy OS, like a modern OS, or can you just run like, not modern?
Oh, the Amiga PCI, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm running.
So man, we lost you there.
Interesting. There we go. Huh?
Their setup. You have to be what so what resolution are you running?
So you already tested your 64? Works good?
So yes.
You ordered that, that's right?
Yeah.
And David, did you bring the 600? Cool. You want to tell us about the 600?
Sure.
Awesome.
All right, so
You got your ROM eraser too, huh?
yeah, I did. Well, I don't think anybody brought any ROMs for me to erase.
No, I didn't.
But I
I
was
don't think so.
gonna show it in case anybody wanted to see what a real one looked like.
Yeah. I've got a really chunky one at home.
Is it a real one though?
As far as I know,
All
yeah.
right. I mean, like, so
It's got a big beefy metal case. It's about,
sure, and
6
it's
times as big.
It's got one of the glass fluorescent UV bulbs in it.
yep. Here's the bulb.
Yeah.
Kind of right along up in here, there's the bulb.
Yep.
Shine the UV light on it, and 5, 10, 15 minutes, you got a blank ROM.
The important thing is all the safety so that you don't blind yourself with the UV light.
That's true.
So, so this won't even turn on if it's not shut. And this does like 6 of the long ROMs. They just like put it inside here.
Yep.
So, and like 20 minutes, and it's got enough UV that erases them good.
Yeah, really.
So I don't have to go back and do anything else. But yeah, this is Amiga 600 HD. So you can almost.
You gonna clip that on?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So you almost. Only way to get these is to order them on eBay from the UK somewhere.
Oh, really?
In Europe, right? They sold pretty well in Europe, but I don't think they sold very well at all in the US. At least that's what the Wikipedia page says.
Uh-huh.
And the HD version sold even less. So, but yeah, I just saw a reasonably cheap one with a make an offer.
Yep.
And if
That
I
come
see a
up
make
on-
an offer, I always make an offer
Of course, on eBay. Or,
on eBay. It
Yep.
says the worst that happens is they say no, and
Exactly.
I say, move on.
But they
So
accepted?
they accepted it.
Cool.
So, yeah, shipped it over. And of course, well, I'd have to get my phone out to show you how dirty it was.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
as much. It's
I got
much
some
cleaner
before
now.
pictures
yeah.
and you restored it in the
Yeah.
Sonic cleaner, I take, yeah?
Yeah. So you give the case a bath. The keyboard had to come completely apart, and there's all
Yep.
kinds of fuzz and
Oh,
the
no.
keyboard.
You had to pull the keys off and get into the
Every
switches
key
and
came
such.
off. Yeah, I had to wash all the keys. And
Yep.
I put them out in the sun, so they were less yellow. It's all less yellow than it was.
Did you put any retro bright or
I didn't do any of that.
stuff
this
like
time.
that? You just left it in the sun for a
Yeah.
second? Okay.
Yeah, just for a couple of days.
Cool.
You can see that.
I mean, it is Texas. There's a lot of sun here, for sure. Yeah.
So it's a lot lighter than it was. You can still see that some
There's
of
a
the
little
keys
bit
aren't
of
quite.
unevenness, but sometimes they just yellow like that. It's really weird.
Yeah, they do. And I don't know why some of the keys, they're just different plastic running different machines.
Yep.
So. But yeah, so it's got a hard drive, and it's got, this is
That's
a
wild.
Prairie Tech hard drive, which was a very small, I had to go read about it. It said Prairie Tech. I've never heard of Prairie Tech.
It's like a 2.5-inch form factor, huh?
It is, yeah. It's an old laptop drive. And so apparently these guys were the first ones that used the spinning down of the motor to park the heads.
Oh, interesting.
They had the patent for it.
Ha!
But they couldn't make their drives were too small and too late, so they ended up declaring bankruptcy. And Connor bought them for that patent for the head parkings. So their patent lives on, but I'd never heard of Prairie Tech.
That's a super cool story, though.
Yeah.
I mean, so they're using like induction, I guess, from the spinning
Yeah,
down.
the
of
back
these-
EMF of the
Yep.
motor spinning down, so that provides enough power to park the heads.
That's crazy.
So when you turn it off, and all hard drives today do that.
Yep.
And in the old days,
You had actually to write a command for it.
well, yeah, you would park them, but they just go and park on the disc someplace. So this one parks them off the disc with a little spreader, so that they don't stick to the disc.
Yeah, because it's always the thing is like, okay, well, where do I park it? Do I have to look up the
Yeah.
documentation and see where the landing zone is or whatever?
Right, and if they stick, then I guess
Yeah, it's stiction.
It's stiction, right? But it'll rip the heads off, or it'll tear the disc.
Yes, just go like this a few times.
Well, yeah, but that
Jiggle.
unsticks them, but that can ruin the heads.
Yeah, it's liable to do damage too,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So the good parking we have now fixes all that.
Yep.
So yeah, it had all the crusty capacitors in there, so I did replace them all.
Cool.
There's a bunch of them over here. There's a couple really hard to get under this
The
keyboard
ribbon cable.
connector.
Yep.
But yeah, anytime you get one of the surface mount Amigas, you have to change the capacitors because they all leak
Yep.
and they all eat the traces.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How many traces in here were you eating?
Well, they didn't get eaten through, so
That's good.
I didn't go in and
Didn't have to do
just
any
repair-
super rework.
for repair's sake. It all works. So I said, all right, good enough for now.
Amazing.
But you do have to take all the caps off and clean them.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, clean the pads, I'm sure.
and if you haven't ever done it, taking the caps off of the leaky ones, it all smells like fish.
Uh-huh.
And so everybody says that the stinky fish smell.
Yup.
So
It's interesting because
this one did smell stinky fish.
here at Dallas Makerspace, we have Metcal soldering equipment over in the lab. We've
Yeah.
got the Metcal Talon, which is pretty cool for desoldering and putting on surface mount stuff.
Yeah, these caps, some of them don't have enough space to get two sides on it. So
Yeah, that's true. Some of these are really close together.
yeah, my soldering iron at home is Metcal.
Uh-huh.
I like Metcal a lot more than any of the other ones. So, I'm glad to hear that they have Metcal.
Yep, there's Metcal back there. I've got Hacko at home, but even then, I probably got a Metcal next.
Right, Metcals are good. I like them.
Yeah, just because, I mean, I guess Hacko's probably might have something similar to a Talon too, but
Well, so there's the Talon, but then there's the heating technology.
Yes.
So Metcals use induction, like an induction stove, and it also, because of the physics of induction, limits the maximum temperature the tip can get to. It can never go higher than what it. You have to buy a tip for 600 degrees. And it will never be more than 600 degrees.
sure, it will never turn itself red or whatever.
Right, and then that keeps them from wearing out,
Definitely.
getting eaten. Yeah. Too many times people go and they turn the heat all the way up,
Oh,
and it
sure.
burns off the tips. And you gotta buy more tips.
Yep.
Well, you don't really have that issue. I use the same Metcal tip for almost 10 years,
Nice.
and I finally bought a new one. And that's only the tip was still good and shiny, but part of the barrel had started to rust from the water
Holy moly.
and cleaning the soldering iron for 10
Yes.
years. So I needed a new one. But
Yeah,
the,
you do
but the
that
other one
much
still works
stuff, right?
fine. So it just it started to rust around the parts.
I guess you could have put some evaporust or something on there if you really wanted.
Yeah, no, it rusted through and there's like some jagged edges. So
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it needed a new one. It's fine. I don't need to set any records on longevity for it. So,
Right.
but yeah, so I'll recap. All works. It's only like a 20 megabyte hard drive.
Sure.
So
You know what's funny though is
that's like 25 floppies.
is it
for
typical
Amiga.
IDE or is it SCSI?
It's an IDE.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I've got 120 gigabytes stuff at home
Sure.
in that form factor. Any laptop up until like the mid-aughts or something might.
Yeah,
Be able to
I
beat
might
this
even
up, I
have
suppose.
some. I don't remember what I have, but
Yep.
yeah, this is my project for this one.
Well, that's pretty neat.
I've got the Pi Amiga. And I have my main version.
Next time around, we'll have to have you
What I
the
kind of want to do now.
Vintage Computer Festival Southwest and have you talk about your exhibits and maybe get in for best restoration or something.
Case that I can kind of mount it on.
So bring in my disk drive collection,
You could bring in the
my
disc.
Commodore floppy disk drive collection.
That might warrant one of the joke awards if you bring a whole stack of floppy drives or something.
Well, the thing is, they're not all the same, so I don't know if they're like. It's not really a joke. I mean, I might get offended if it's a joke.
Oh, well, fair, but I mean, it's usually
Maybe
something
not. If I
silly
wasn't
about like,
aware,
okay, how masochistic are you to really go and
Yeah,
maintain all
sure,
these things?
Well, if you don't use them too much, they don't go bad.
Yeah.
In between. The original fixing of them is the hard part because there's a lot of
I've got a box of those.
a lot of stinky capacitors in some of those.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be going through that. I've got those 4 1541s, I think of which 3 of them have good heads, 1 of them doesn't, so I probably just get rid of the logic board for that one.
Yeah. So don't get rid of the mechanism. I got a old 1541 the other day, and the motor is the bad thing. The motor drags. It
Not
can't
fast
keep.
enough.
You can't keep running at 300
Yeah,
RPM. So I need
even if you
another
crank
motor.
that potentiometer all the way up, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's that's not the solution. It can hit 300 RPM, but then I don't know if you ever play with motors, and you know that sometimes when the little bearing wears out, you hear them. They sound like they're spinning, and then they make that squealing noise.
Yeah.
And that's because now they're riding around inside the bearing.
So it's doing that, basically.
Yeah, it's basically doing that.
Yeah, so it's internally broken.
It's internally broken, and
It's not an electrical thing. It's just mechanically broken.
right. It is a bad motor, and so I need a motor to fix
Yeah.
that drive. And well, bad mechanism have bad motors, or have good motors, so
Yeah.
I need a motor. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's good to keep spare units around for sure.
yeah. I think I did get a motor the other day that I can replace it with, so I don't necessarily need your motor.
There we go.
But
Yeah, I figured, if I had maybe 2 1541s and a third as a parts machine, that'd probably be fine.
yeah,
And then just not have 4.
right. Well, the third one is the parts to fix the
Yeah.
other two. So,
Yep. Save a little bit of space.
yeah.
Otherwise, I got 2 1571s that I think work fine, and then a 1581 that I've never actually tried.
Oh, really? I put my two 1571s up for sale, but I guess the price is too high, so I gotta.
The price is too high. How much are you asking?
Huh?
How much are you asking for the 1571s?
150.
150, okay.
I mean, locally, that's globally that's what they go for. But
Sure.
locally,
Might be a little cheaper than that.
But
You know how much I bought mine for? This guy really did not care. He sold it to me for like $5 a pop.
sure. And if they work, yeah. But if they don't work,
Yeah,
can you
I had
fix
to.
them?
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah, these are all working. So
I think we brought them in here and they tested out okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. You can get rid of them too.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I think it's
your disk drive board, yeah.
Yeah, so we tried this one and it acted like, it's got the bad ROMs.
Yeah.
I think we swapped this one with a good one, and it still didn't work. So I'm assuming this one is bad.
Yeah.
And the original one in there might be bad as well. I'm pretty sure we put the original one back in.
Right.
But certainly this one's bad.
I think I have one of each to check in here, so that'll be fine. And just put a socket in it.
Yep, definitely.
So, and then you can have it back.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Then we can see what's up with the drives from there, head cleaning or RPMs of the motors and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know if it's a lot like cleaning an IBM drive, or like a typical PC
I think it's the same.
kind of stuff? Probably the same.
A lot
kind
of the stuff's the same, except IBM drives didn't have like a big massive board in them.
Right.
So that's the
Yeah, they had a slightly less massive board in them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing I've tried to do and never quite got it working. I even made like a little Arduino thing that would blink to 60 hertz or whatever because I don't have like fluorescent lights hanging around to do that anymore.
I mean, I just was using the LED lights on the drives. Just turn them over, and they got the little wheel, and that was working.
Okay. But it's like a persistence of vision trick, and so they're relying on lights that flicker at 60 hertz, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my LED lights
Oh, they do that?
flicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it probably depends on how expensive the lights are.
I might just have to try it and see. I just assumed that they wouldn't flicker.
So some of them have a capacitor in there to kind of smooth out the AC, so they don't flicker.
Yeah.
But some of them are cheaper, and they don't put that capacitor in,
Yeah.
and they will flicker a little bit. So
Interesting.
that's what I said. I know that the motor was spinning because you could see that it was going 300 RPM.
Yeah.
And then it would slow down, and then it would pick back up again, and it would slow down.
Oh no, yeah.
And it
then
would
you
slow
can
down.
hear it.
Yeah. And I could put my fingers on the spindle of the motor, and it just didn't have much power.
Oh dang.
So, like, yeah, all right, it's worn out. So,
Well, there's 20 different.
yeah,
Not bad.
yeah, well, that's what I had today. Nobody needed EEPROM burning, so I didn't get to get my EEPROM burning.
No. I didn't need any today.
If you have,
What's the one we would do?
I will remind everybody, if you have any of the EEPROMs, like the 400s, 400s or stuff from like Amigas, that you got an old an old kickstart on that you don't need,
Yeah,
right? You can erase those and put a new kickstart on them,
for sure.
and put the later version on it. And otherwise, they're expensive and hard to get these days.
For sure.
So,
So there's specific ROMs, they're not just your basic 27s, I guess, right?
well, you need the 27C400, so
Oh, I
the 4
see.
megabit. The 512 kilobyte or 4 megabits. You need those. Some of the boards will take the 8 megabit, but they have 2 more pins. So, like this one here,
Yep.
this is a 4 megabit sized ROM, but it's got the 2 extra pins here. So you can put an 8 megabit
Yep.
in it.
Oh, that's cool. Do you have to do aliasing to like plant it on there 4 times, or do you not have to worry about that?
You do, yes.
You do, okay.
Yeah. So these are, well, this is a single ROM. It's 512.
Yeah, so you just put it on there once.
So yeah, it's only got 1 image on there. But if you put the 1 megabyte, or the 1 megabyte in there, you'd have to have 2 copies of it.
Yeah. Now, can you put different ROMs on there, or do you have to make it the same?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Cool.
It's,
So you can
just the 1 extra address line.
Yep.
If it's high, you get the 1 image. If it's low, you get the other image.
Yeah, so you can switch them up then too. It doesn't have to be proper aliasing.
Right. Yes, that's possible. But if you just stick them in there as is, then you gotta make extra copies to fill up the ROM.
Yep.
I have no idea. I've only replaced with
That was the problem with David's ROMs over there. Is when they got made, they didn't have enough copies of the
Oh yeah, interesting.
ROM in there, so I ended up having to put 4 copies in it to fill up the ROMs, and then try them out, and they seem to work.
That's good. Yeah, it makes sense that it would have to be put in there multiple times if it's too big.
Yeah.
I drove tanks.
Cool.
That's cool though.
All right. Well, that's my spiel for this week. So.
Awesome sauce. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
So I can mount
Navy.
and run the
Great.
computer. I can tell it.
So what all do you fit in here in 20 megabytes, I guess?
It detects that the
What's your favorite? What's your killer app for the 600 HD?
Well, I haven't put the stuff on here, and this is a case where the software that's on it is already interesting enough, so I just leave it.
That's cool. Yeah, I like it when you find something that you just like to have it like that anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see that there's any personal anything on here, so,
Okay.
so that's all good.
Yeah.
What I would have had on mine back in the day was a terminal program, a modem terminal program.
Yep.
And
Down on some
and
BBSs
I
or
also
something.
had a ProWrite as my word processing software.
I play on my CRT.
And ProWrite was 2 disks, and the terminal program was another disk. But I could have had all 3 of those disks on here.
Yeah, no joke. It's still plenty of extra room.
Right. Yeah, and so when I would download stuff from the BBSs, I would have space to store it before I went off the floppy.
Yeah.
Instead, I just had 2 floppy drives, and it's like a whole bunch of switching stuff in and out of floppy drives.
Yeah, this would save you the hassle.
Yeah,
Probably a lot of load time too.
yeah, it does. It loads pretty fast. So, and you wouldn't have to start out with Workbench or anything like that.
Right.
No, I mean, I'll keep the 1200, but I mean, like, I've
What'd I
not
do?
done anything with that TV. It's still sitting like under my desk.
You didn't have to buy it back. I could have done something with it.
You're gonna format that as a high density floppy. I've honestly never formatted a disk with it, so I thought so I just brought a disk, it formatted its height.
You like the game No Second Prize?
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
No? Oh.
Let's see.
It's known for being a very well designed 3D game.
What are these?
This is the next thing in Amiga. This is Amiga PCI.
You said words.
Amiga PCI. So PCI slots you solder in here, I suppose.
So this is the first revision. You can see it's got the CPU on the board. Well, he abandoned that and opted for a daughter CPU card that'll plug into a connect, which is, you remember old Macs used to use NuBus connectors?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's going with right here.
Is he not worried about heat from that sandwich?
Well, and that's how the 3000, 4000 work well with CPU cards.
When are you going to do this? When are you starting this?
Well, these don't work.
Oh.
So he gave them to me as more like wall art.
Nice.
So
Can only imagine the validation of test this whole thing.
can you
It'd be
imagine?
ridiculous.
Oh golly, you'd have to have an oscilloscope and
Probably several interns.
Yeah. So what's really cool about this project though is the DIN connectors are gone. So now it uses USB for your keyboard and mouse. Here is onboard IDE.
Cool.
Now, and then PCI, of course, over here. But where the big money comes in are these 4 chips, and this is just a guess on my part. What I think he's done is he's incorporated the Fire PCI open source project.
Interesting.
And incorporated it into essentially what would be an Amiga 3000 board. And I wish him the best. I hope he sees this through to the very end, because I really think this would probably be a game changer, because now you can pick up Radeon cards that are $25.
Yep.
Pluck it in here, an Ethernet card, pluck it in here, pluck in a USB card, and well, they're all written.
Well, like Sound Blaster is.
Yeah, we have the Radeon driver for like a 9250.
Yeah.
That's already written. The
Written for the right processor, yeah.
yeah, and the USB, because I had a Mediator 4000, and I had all that stuff in it. So
anything that people are putting in a mediator is you just have it right on the board.
it'll just work. And so I just look how close those are, though. I mean, my.
Does it look the soldering for like all of that? There's no way.
My eyesight sucks anyway, but I mean, just that takes David level skill right there because
This is my workbench. So I built all of this stuff. So I do have oscilloscopes and power supplies, and this is a stack of 3 boards, and you can't even see all this stuff on there. I mean, I don't solder this. I send this out to solder. Right. So I got these little videos here where I'm trying to see this one little signal here. Go, yeah, see?
Yep. High, low, high, low.
Good, bad. Well, that's good, bad, good, bad. Actually, oh,
There you go.
cool.
Game does look like it.
Sweet.
I don't think it made it through it, huh? I'm not surprised.
There's extra here.
Yeah, you know what? At some point, unless you want to give me 10 back, I don't know. Maybe at some point, maybe, yeah.
What are you buying?
No, he built something for me.
Oh.
You can show that one too.
Yo, what do you buy? I sold it for $60.
No, what did he build
Oh,
you?
so the Prelude sound card project.
I've
well,
never heard of that.
Okay, so it's a
There you go. You're gonna put that in here?
no. It's a the Prelude came out when 92, 93 time frame. Well, it's a digitizer board and an output board, and well, this little board lets you play MP3s and takes the load off the processor.
Oh, okay.
So-
for what system?
2, 3, and 4,000. It's a big box card, and this is a daughter card that you put. So I ordered 5 boards. I built one for myself. David, you built 1 or 2 of them?
I built all 3 of the M.
Yeah.
We only built 1 so far.
Yeah.
I'm going to build the other one. I just haven't got around to building
And,
it.
and it's actually a really easy project. I mean, the hardest part is the gals that you got to program for it. But every other component for just the main board, you can order from Mouser. You can find the crystal sound chip on eBay all day long.
For sure.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, the big sound card is pretty easy, except for the gals. That was all the parts on there are much harder to find.
yes, yeah, super easy to build. Yeah.
When is VCFW tickets going on sale for next year?
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's going to be sometime
I think I left my phone in the car.
February, March next year. Yeah, after the new year, for sure.
That's really cool. So this, what do you have this in? I know you've got like, I don't remember all your Amigas that you have.
I have all of them.
You have a 4.2?
Yeah.
I have another one of these, but the previous version.
Okay, so what do you have that in?
too, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, you got rid of them?
Yeah, not anymore.
What did you get rid of?
I had, well, I had 2 2000s. He got one. I think he got the other one. And when I got my EATX 2000, it's the same guy who made these. And once I got that, I was like, I don't need 3 Amiga 2000s. So I liquidated the 2, and so the only thing I have for Amigas now is that, the EATX, and I have a MorphOS little Mac Mini G, which is what these go for. And that's
You have a 4000 too, I think.
I do.
Yeah, and you got it at one of these meetings. I think
did.
you were telling me a story. You were like, "Yeah, I got it like super cheap," and I'm just like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, Ned got rid of it for $800.
I said that's nice of him because he well, I mean, either he didn't know or he was being nice.
He was being nice, I think.
That's what.
That's the spirit of the group.
I
Be
Yeah.
bought
nice.
my 1200 from him.
Yeah. I bought it and then you paid me back.
is that how it
Well, no,
works?
just like he wasn't even paying attention, and the guy was like selling it, and I was like, I knew Sam was looking for a 1200. I was
Yeah.
like, how much are you looking for? And Francisco was also like,
Oh, I know.
but I knew Francisco already had one,
Whatever you say.
and so like I pulled out my wallet and gave him cash right there, just
gosh.
trusted that Sam would pay me back.
Well, I was talking to Ned on the Discord.
Okay, yeah, you probably had it all worked out.
I didn't know Ned was on the Discord.
I didn't know that either.
I thought it was Ned I was talking to.
I've not been on the Discord for myself either, so I don't know.
If he hasn't said anything at all. I knew his wife was
Yeah.
sick.
Needs his help for sure.
Yeah, and he was saying, yeah, so, but like he was a real nice guy, and so
nice.
like, I was like taking care of Sam, right? And Francisco was like,
Oh no.
he was like, I was gonna buy it, and then he was like, all right, he's like, well, I'm gonna buy that monitor, and then I bought
Yep.
the monitor. I was like, well, I already bought the monitor, and he was all like, oh.
Ah man.
I'm surprised after all that he fixed my Amiga.
So that's
Well, he's just
a
hoping to get some back later on, I
2018
guess.
X.
Put it and mix it with a little bit of water, put the seal top,
That's a
put it
brand
on.
new looking board too.
Mm-hmm.
No, Francisco was a great sport. Oh, yes, I've seen the pictures of this case.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, okay, I'm putting it all together.
It's all,
Did something similar, that's how
let's see,
Oh,
yeah.
did you have the cream or did you all have
No, no, I use the clear one. When I begin, I try to use the cream.
First boot.
I never use it again.
Scary. Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Amiga
building.
fried chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were talking
Probably
about
Amiga fried chicken.
my brain.
Yeah, I know, I hear it.
No, I know. It's
I
funny.
guess
was thinking,
Chris likes Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I would say so. Make the custom boot screen and everything. The green is really slick looking too.
Hey, Paige, you were talking to a lot of people. Sam's here.
There's a big halo showing up on camera that doesn't show up on in person. It looks like,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you minimize the eye game, you can really see it.
Yeah.
You were all like, when you were looking at it, you're
Yeah,
like,
but someone, he asked for a price.
Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
cool.
nasty on screen, doesn't it?
For 200?
no, it's like 100.
I wonder what's caught. Who knows?
Who knows?
My wallet. Oh my god.
I didn't open because I was like talking about the.
I pulled
Good
out
old
my
eye game.
No, that, I think that was mine because,
Frontier.
you know, I sold it 2000 that I didn't store completely because of my space or whatever. I wanted, so, yeah, I sold it for, no, I'm talking about 2000.
Oh, this is the 1200.
I mean, I remember being here, and one of the reasons that I got a 2000 is because I wanted to get the.
Was it working or
on it?
It did work.
And there was a guy came here.
Like a 1200. He got it.
I remember on my 500, it was like for run to.
Just really chugging away at that processing. Huh?
But I think it maxed it out.
Yep.
I don't have the unit anymore. And he sold it for, I think it was for $100. And I said, dude, I was looking into it.
They need to remake this game.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be cool.
Next time I'm gonna go.
Yeah, especially I mean with the fancy hardware that runs a lot faster.
Right.
Everybody in their
Because it was funny. I'm not
ZZ's 9000s or their Amigas or
Yeah, they're all.
1200.
Oh,
those other
yeah.
things.
Have you seen that new game? It's called Road Craft. That game looks good. I don't think it's available yet, but it looks. That game looks really good.
Yeah. That'd be neat, huh?
I mean, it reminds me. Remember when the original Diablo came out?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. And I played Diablo for hours on end.
That was pretty sweet.
Yes, it was.
Is this Elite Frontier?
Yeah, and all those
I saw the
Diablos.
Frontier, but I wasn't. Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Great.
No, and he was a really nice guy. He did have to repair.
One I just haven't gotten around. I've never fixed a Mac Plus before.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's getting to be close, huh?
It's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, the mic closes most of the time. If it does anything,
Well, the guy that got it from Well, right, so.
It's a pretty intense opening animation, I guess.
It is.
I never played Frontier, but I played a regular Elite on my Commodore 64.
yeah.
Oh, Sam, we gotta go.
Alrighty. It's pack up time.
No, I gotta go somewhere else.
Well, then thank you for joining us on this edition. The August 2024 Dallas Fort Worth Amiga Commodore meetup, and we'll see you next month or some other time, if not sooner or later. Take care from the Texas Nerd House. Bye, y'all.
Who are you again? Oh, okay. Well, you can never tell.